Hi, and welcome to Diversity in the Community. I have a very, very, very special guest with me here today. Uh, she's my sister friend. We've been friends for, I forget how many years, but it's been a long time. Sherree Sutton, I'm going to let her tell you about herself, but I'm going to say a little bit about her. She's a writer, editor, world traveler, top-notch real estate agent, and most of all, she has been my sister friend for many years. Welcome to the program.
Wow. What an introduction.
Oh, God.
Are you sure all that stuff is true?
Yes, yes. So tell them a little bit about yourself.
Okay. First of all, thank you. Glad to be here again. Thank you for having me. Thank you for this opportunity. But most of all, thank you for being my sister friend. That's the most important part of it to me.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. I'm here again this evening to talk about our upcoming event, the She Is Me project. We've been kind of, how can I say, out of sight for the past couple of years due to COVID. Last year we did have an event, but it was virtual. So I'm happy that we're able to be back live and in person this year. So we're scheduled for Saturday, December 17th, and that's at the JCC Center in West Hartford,
Right.
335 Bloomfield Avenue in West Hartford. We have a great program planned for you. We're going to start out with our grandma monologues, I should say. Grandmothers that became grandmothers during this pandemic. It's a different experience, and I know you can relate to that, Theresa. So we thought that we would talk about that. So we have 3 grandmothers, myself included. Yes, I became a grandmother in 2020,
Yeah.
and I'm so happy that I am. I'm so excited. I had thought about what it would be like, but what really happened did not compare to my expectations. My expectations were exceeded. The pandemic, though, not happy about it. So that's what we're going to talk about. Personally, I'm going to talk about becoming a grandmother in the middle of a pandemic. Theresa is also a contributor, and she's going to do a grandma monologue as well. As you know, she's the grandmother of 2 children, so we're going to hear about that experience. And we also have another young woman that's going to join us, Virginia Lewis. She's going to talk about her grandmother experiences. And you'll see that they're all different, but at the same time, similar. So basically, Grandma's got something to say, y'all, and we're going to say it.
Yes, we do.
And I'm not going to tell everybody's age, but I was thinking the other night, and between the 3 of us, I think we exceed 180 years of life. So that's quite a bit to talk about.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it.
So am I. And the second half of the show, there's some women that the best word I can use is admire because of their life story. I love artists, so we're going to feature Joy Monroe. Joy's going to tell us a little bit about herself and her passion. As you know, she's one of our very talented artists in the area. And I met her. I have some products that she's done for me, and I love all of them. So I asked her to participate, and she graciously said yes, so I'm thankful for that. We have another contributor on the second half of the show, Tara, can't say it wrong, she'll get me. Tara Talbert is going to join us, and she's going to talk about her battle and winning against cancer. So that is going to be an amazing story. I can't wait for you to hear that. And last but certainly not least, young woman by the name of Patricia Parks is joining us, and she's going to speak to the recovery side of things, recovering from addiction. and she is now a minister.
Wow.
So that's another journey that I'm quite sure you're going to get quite a bit from. So we have a pretty full program, but a very interesting and I hope inspirational program planned for you. The second half is called the Winner's Circle. And the reason I called it the Winner's Circle is because I think all three of those women are winners in their own right. So that's a little bit about the program.
Most definitely. I've been with you since your very first program.
Yes, you have.
And that was how many years ago?
This year is 9 years.
9 years.
9
Oh my
years.
God. And I remember we were at the Charter Oak.
Yes, Charter Oak was
and
our
it was
first
completely
venue.
sold out.
Yes.
9 years. And I remember meeting you and your passion. Your passion was for women to help each other, to lift each other. And all of the different programs that you had kind of pointed to that. I know you had one even on mental health.
Yes.
I mean, so many programs, and it was all about women helping each other.
Yes. That has been my goal from the beginning. And as I explained before, the initial plan for me was to do a one-woman show. That's how I started out. That's how the idea started.
Mm-hmm.
But the more I thought about it, I said, okay, I have some experiences to share that people can benefit from, but I felt like if I really wanted to achieve what I was trying to achieve, I needed to have different perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
So I invited some friends to participate in that first event, and that was called Monologues of My Sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing, individual monologues. Each person spoke to their own life experience. And we covered topics like infidelity. We covered dealing with childhood obesity and the impact that can have on you and in your life. We dealt on walking away from a home that you had spent lots of time and money investing in.
Ooh.
So that was a personal one for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was so excited when everyone shared what they had written with me because it touched on the very topics that I felt were important
Mm-hmm.
for us as women to share, because no matter where we come from, and
Mhm.
I've said this probably 100 times, but I'm going to continue to repeat it because I firmly believe it. No matter where we come from, what we look like, what our heritage is, we're women, and we're all the same. We have the same struggles, we have the same experiences, we have the same successes. But a lot of times we don't clap for each other.
Right. Encourage.
And encourage.
Yeah.
And when necessary, hold each other up.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes, no matter how successful you are, you will have that low point
Mm-hmm.
where you need a sister friend, as we call it, to be there,
Mm-hmm.
if nothing else but to listen to you.
Right, right, right.
So I felt like putting our own experiences in front of our audience would, number one, help them to see themselves in us.
Mm-hmm.
It's like looking in a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And that first event, we were successful at that.
Mm-hmm.
And because you were there and,
Yeah.
and you saw the women that came up to us from the audience after the show was over, and we got comments like, oh, you just told my story. Oh, I can relate to that.
Yeah, yeah. No.
But the main thing that I took away from it was the encouragement of
Mhm.
you have to continue doing this.
Mm.
This is so needed for women. So that let me know that I was on the right track
Yeah.
with my thinking and with my passion and my goal
Mm-hmm.
for the project. So here we are today,
Yeah.
9 years later.
9 years later. Oh my God.
And once I did a couple of my own ideas, I had some dear friends that would ask me questions like, did you ever think about doing a program on mental illness?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I thought about it. I hadn't really planned it, but you know what? We can make it happen. And we did that based on that suggestion. The first mental illness project was from the point of view of family members, and you participated in that one. We had family members that participated, and they shared their experience of dealing with mental illness from being related to someone that was suffering from it.
Right.
And that was a great program because the facility we were in, as a matter of fact, we were at JCC, where we're going back to this year. We had it for a specific amount of time, and time was up, and people still did not want to leave.
They were still asking questions.
Still asking
I
questions,
remember
still
that.
sharing comments. And I remember that night a woman came up to me and she said, "You just told my story." And it didn't really register because I'm busy packing up, trying to get out of the building. And I stopped, and she said, "Did you hear me?" And I looked at her. I said, "I heard you, but I don't think I got what you were trying to tell me." She said, "You just told my story." And she had tears in her eyes. And then it registered. Something clicked.
Yeah.
And what she was telling me was she was dealing with mental illness herself. And she said, "I thank you for doing this." She said, because a lot of times we don't get to talk about this. People don't want to talk about it.
Right.
So because of the positive feedback we received from that first show on mental illness, we tackled it again, and we did a second one.
Right.
This time we were blessed to have contributors that were actually dealing with some sort of mental illness themselves. And that I was blown away that
Yes.
I was able to.
Yes.
I knew people. I had friends that had family members, and they recommended I speak to them and ask them. And each person that I asked said yes. So I was blown away,
Yeah.
and I consider myself blessed
Yeah.
for that, because
Yeah.
not all the time do people want to share their experience in front of a room full of people.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, and we're going to continue to talk about, tackle, touch the issues that impact us and impact our community. Because let's face it, if it impacts us, it impacts the people that
That's
we
right.
love. It
That's
impacts
right.
the
That's
people
right.
that we interact with.
That's right.
So, and I say that because a couple of times I had male friends that, "Oh, I can't come to your shows. They're about women." And I said, "No, you're wrong." I said, "What you don't realize is what impacts us impacts you. So you can come. You should come."
What was it? You had one show where there was several men in
Yes,
the show.
because I decided to call their bluff, and I said, "Okay, if you think it's all about
It was
women,
a good show. It
then
was
guess
a good.
what? We're going to do one about you." So that's when I launched He Is Me,
Right. Right.
and it was an all-male show. And we had a pastor that shared his experience.
Yeah.
My son graced the stage for me after I begged and pleaded. A friend that I've known for years and used to work with, Alfonso McGriff, he shared his experiences. A young man, Timothy Fraylon, I had met him through Valerie Ingram, Ruby's Realm. We had been in a couple of her plays, and he had an experience that he wanted to share. So it was a great show. So
Yeah, it was.
I'm looking into doing something else
Yeah.
that focuses totally on men.
Focuses on the men folk.
Yes, the men folk. Put them in front of the camera.
What has inspired, you told me a lot already, but what has inspired or encouraged you to continue for the last 9 years?
When I believe in something, I commit to it 100%. And when I have a goal, I refuse to give up. I'm going to continue.
Yeah, I know that. I know that part about you.
As they say, I'm like a dog with a bone. I'm going to stick with it until I achieve what I set out to achieve.
Yes.
So that's why I'm still here.
So She Is Me is not, you not only have put on programs and all of that type of thing, but you support the community.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that, you know, the backpack program, all of that stuff that you do.
That is part of my upbringing,
Mm-hmm.
the foundation of my upbringing, I should say. As you know, I grew up in the South, and I was raised by my grandparents. And they taught my brother and I that you can't think about just yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be willing to help others,
Right.
your neighbors,
Right.
your church community,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even strangers that you don't know. If
Mhm.
there's a need, then
Right.
and you can help, you need to. And growing up, seeing them do that, I used to watch my grandmother pack up boxes of, she was a true Southern lady.
Mm-hmm.
Some folks may not understand what I'm talking about, but I think folks from my generation or our generation
Yes.
will. She used to do canning,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Yeah.
preserving fruit.
Right. Yep.
She used to freeze vegetables because my grandfather had a huge garden. We grew everything, collard greens, cabbage, string beans, potatoes, cucumbers, you name it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
grew it.
Mm-hmm.
And we always had more than we needed. And she used to freeze a lot so that we had that fresh vegetable throughout the winter. And I used to watch her pack up boxes of food and give to a neighbor that might have been in a rough patch.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen her do the same at church.
Mm-hmm.
We were brought up in the church as well. I was brought up as a true Southern Baptist. So we had Sundays where we were in church all day. And on those Sundays, all the sisters and mothers would cook meals and bring it. And we'd have like a good old-fashioned family picnic at church. Well, she was the type, she would not take just one dish or one item.
Mm-hmm.
She would fill up the trunk of my grandfather's car,
Mm-hmm.
and it would have everything that you had for Sunday dinner: collard greens, cornbread, potato salad, barbecue, baked chicken, fried chicken, you name it, and at least 2 cakes and a couple of pies or whatever, just food. And she would share it. So I saw that all my life. She'd pack up clothes if someone had a fire in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Pack up clothes and just take it and drop it off, whether they knew it was her or not.
Right.
And because I remember that, because one of my favorite dresses got packed up in
Did she pack up your crimson slip or whatever?
Yes. I was kind of happy about those. I was a tomboy,
So you had to wear one of the dresses
so
with
I
the
hated those crinoline slips.
Oh, crinoline. I'm saying
Crinoline,
it.
I hated
I called
them
it crimson.
with a passion. The dresses standing out like this. Those, I was happy to see them go, but she'd only replace them with new ones. So
yeah.
she was a girly girl.
Uh-huh.
So there was ribbon on my hair, lace on my socks, and no, not happy times for me. I was happy in my sneakers, my jeans, and a shirt.
Yeah.
But that was her.
I remember those days. We used to call it in the South big meeting. They called it.
Ours was quarterly meeting.
Oh, okay.
That's
it was
what they called it.
big meeting, and we would my mother and them would pack up the cars too, and everybody would visit each other's car, and get a little bit of especially like pound cake and fried chicken. That was
Yeah.
that was the biggest thing.
And if you came to her house Sunday, or basically any day, and she offered you food, you better take it. Because if you didn't, she was very offended.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's embedded in me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize it until, I got older, and I was like, wait a minute, I've become my grandmother,
Yeah.
which is a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But back then, I didn't appreciate it. I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But now,
Driving a tractor at what age?
hey, I got driving skills
How old were you and your brother
because
driving
of that tractor.
You can't get in trouble for it now. It's too,
I
too
must
long
have
ago.
been about 10, 11, and he was 9, 8, 9. Oh, yeah. I learned how to drive, folks, on a tractor, and I'm proud of it.
So one of the other things that that you did that I really loved was that you're also an author. You wrote a book
Yeah.
about your brother,
Yes.
which just really, really, like really touched my heart.
Thank you.
Yeah. And he's doing well now.
Oh, yeah.
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 He's right behind me. He just turned 66 this year.
Oh my. Oh
After
my.
the doctors gave up on him.
Yes. That
over
story
40
was.
years
Oh
ago.
my God. I remember that story.
God is good.
And so now you're out here encouraging people, especially women, which is men too, but and just encouraging people, and that's a wonderful thing.
Yes, because life is short, not to sound cliche,
Yeah.
but it is. So, yeah, we have jobs. We have to work to live.
Mhm.
But I don't think a job is or should be everything. Yes, it pays the bills.
Mhm.
Yes, it gives you some sort of personal feeling of success, I'll say. But there's other things.
Mhm.
The things that you're really passionate about, those are the things that you need to pursue, is what I'm trying to get people to buy into.
Mhm.
If it comes across your mind and you really want to do it, I say do it.
Yeah. Try it.
Try it. I don't care what it is. It may seem silly to you, it may seem small, but if it's something you really want to do and you're passionate about, I think you need to give it a try. And so what if it doesn't work? At least you can say you tried it.
And you've been working for 9 years so far. Now, who would have thought when you first? I don't know if you thought when we first did that first thing. If
I didn't.
you're gonna be going for 9 years now.
I didn't. And I didn't expect the audience we received the first time.
Right.
Because if you're not known,
Mhm.
if your name, and when I say name, not my personal name, but the name of the project, it was not known. It's brand new.
Mhm.
So when you're not known and you haven't built up that reputation, so to speak, it's hard to get people to pay money and to come out and see what you're doing.
And support you.
And for us to have 114 paying patrons on May 4th, 2014, I remember the date. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
Amazing. I knew tickets were selling because I sold them on Eventbrite, but there were a lot of people that didn't get their tickets in advance. So
Mhm.
the number of people that actually was there, I was blown away. I was happy, but I was blown away because I did not expect that. And the feedback
Mhm.
that we received. I got one negative piece of feedback, and I'm going to share this because I want to make a point. I don't know the individual. I saw what she wrote, but it made me laugh. I
Mhm.
didn't get upset because she said that we did not start on time, and we did. And you're
Mhm.
my witness because you were our videographer. We started exactly on time.
Mhm.
And the reason she thought we didn't start on time is because she didn't read the flyer
Mhm.
completely, or correctly, I should
Mhm.
say, because it said doors open at 5, showtime is 6 o'clock. So because she was there at 5 o'clock and we didn't start at 5 o'clock, in her eyes, we didn't start on time. And the point I wanted to make is when you read something, people, please read it in its entirety.
And don't let it get you down.
No, it didn't.
You just keep on
Because
pushing.
that one negative comment, and
Mhm.
I'm being very honest with you, that was the only negative comment that I got. And the positive feedback that I received from people, that's another thing that's hard to get.
Mhm.
People to give you the feedback. They might give it to someone else or talk in their circles,
Mhm.
but it's very hard for them to come to you with it.
Mhm.
And I got so much positive feedback on that first show that I was like, wow, this does make sense. I'm
Wow.
not crazy. This will work. So yes, I was very encouraged by that.
How do you come up with the, for the last 9 years, how do you come up with the different themes for the shows?
Things that are important to me
Mhm.
and things that I feel others can relate to,
Mhm.
gain something from it,
Mhm.
learn something from it. Because my tagline is that we want to not only entertain you. Entertainment's important, yes, but our programs aren't always entertaining. We tend to focus more on, and I hate to say the serious, but it is, focus more on things that folks can relate to, that's impacted them.
Right.
And things that you can learn from. So we say educate,
Mhm.
because we are educating sometimes.
Right.
And encourage, because you never know who's sitting in the audience, and you never know who's going to look at the program or hear something that we say and it's like, it touches a nerve or it lights a spark.
Mhm.
So those are the things that I try to focus on. And our community, things that impact our community as a whole.
Right.
That's extremely important to me. Because as a people, not to say we're not, but I think we could do a lot better with this, embracing each other, looking out for one another.
Right.
So, yeah, that's our small contribution to trying to make that happen.
So how many years have you guys been doing the backpack thing?
The same amount of years.
Same amount of years.
It started the same year.
And so who do you give these the backpacks out to?
Oh boy, to date we've helped about, I'd say 14, 15 local charities.
Wow.
Some we've helped more than 1 year. And I'm very proud of that, because it's a very small amount of people that do it. It's not just me by myself, but the number of people that you've been with us from day one. That's why I love you.
Oh, my sister.
But it's a couple of my family members, myself, and what I call my sister friends, and a couple of business people. Because if I do business with you, you should support what I do. Right. If you don't, then why do I do business with you?
That's right.
And I'll use, for an example, my mechanic has been working on my car for pretty much since I've had it. And he supports us in a big way. So I'm very appreciative of that. So I have another friend that has a business, and she supports us in a big way. And those are our two sponsors. I'm just going to give them a plug if that's okay.
Yes.
Protect Benz in New Rochelle, New York.
Okay.
And Grassolini Creations in East Hartford.
That's the leather.
The leather genie.
The leather genie.
The leather genie.
One of these days, I'm going to be able to afford one piece of her leather, because she is exceptional.
She is.
She's really, really exceptional.
And so. I've done business with her, and in return, she's supported this project. And
Mhm.
she's a friend. She's a
Mhm.
sister friend just like you.
Yes.
And Mr. McDavid takes care of my car. I
Mhm.
pay him. So he's in turn.
But he's reliable, right?
Yes, very.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's stepped up and supported my project. And I'm thankful for that.
I am really looking forward to, I haven't met a couple of the ladies, but I do know Joy, and I just recently met, you call her Verge?
Yes.
Yes, I met her when we went out to breakfast and stuff, and I am really, really looking forward to the program. I hope I can get through it, like I said, because
You will.
I told my kids, I said I'm an old grandma, so I couldn't wait to have some grandbabies. I am really looking. I think it's a very special lineup project. And one thing I wanted to say is I ended up creating a song for Sherree, and it was so easy to do because I knew what your motives were. And I'm just going to say a few words to the song, and you can see what I'm talking about. It says, "If I see you struggling, my sister, and I know I've been there too, I should take what I have learned and pass it on to you. Let's lift one another up. It really doesn't take that much. Help a sister if you can and lend a helping hand. Encourage a sister and celebrate her success. So when your turn comes around, you will also be blessed." Why? Because she is me and I am she. We are stronger together. Can't you see that she is me?
You're going to make me cry again.
I just love, and the thing about with this song is I just heard the words, the melody, and all that, and I was like, this, I got to give it to my sister.
Mm-hmm. Because you're gifted like that. And folks, when she gave me the words to that song, I kid you not, I boo-hoo cried because it's exactly what we are trying to do with this project. And for her to take the time to sit down and write those words for me, for my project, and then put the music to it, and then sing it, it doesn't get any better than that.
And it's because you give to so many people. You have such a big heart, and so it was easy to write it. But like I said, the words just came to me. But because I know what your motives were for doing this project, and I am just so proud to have you as a sister friend. You know,
I am. I'm the proud one.
I am so proud. Me and my sisters adopted you as
Yes.
sisters. As a matter of fact, I talked to one of my sisters in Virginia, and she said, "You make sure you tell my sister I said hello." And so I am so excited about the program that's coming up, and I know it's going to be a success. And people look at success in different ways. Success is not always hundreds and hundreds of people coming in the door. It's how many people got something out of what you said or what you did that came through the door. Because you could have a whole lot of people that show up just because of who's there.
Yeah.
But how many people walk out and really something has changed in their life? And I think every time I've been to one of your programs, it's when I would leave, I was enlightened by something, you know. And so I think that's what is so special about what you do, you know. And so I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to it. And is there anything else you want to say about it before?
Well, I thank you for saying that because that's how I measure success for this project. If only one person says something positive, I understood that. I related to that. That helped me. I learned something. No matter what it is, as long as it's just one person, I'm good. I'm happy. I even had a couple of people ask me, well, you do know it's in the middle of the Christmas season. I said, yeah. What better time to do this? So I understand people have busy schedules. during the month of December. I do too, because I'm celebrating my birthday. So
That's right. It's coming on the 8th, right?
But I said that's my birthday present to myself, is to do this project, because I could not let another year go by and not do it. I don't want to miss a year. So time was running out because I was traveling a little bit this year. So
Oh, you traveled a lot this year. You traveled a lot. What were you? Where were you in Cairo, Egypt? What other places were you?
Dubai,
Oh my
South
goodness.
Africa.
Oh my goodness. Lord have mercy. Every time I turn around, look, I'm like, oh, there she is again. But that's a wonderful thing.
It
to
is.
be able to retire and just enjoy life, and on top of it, enjoy your grandbaby.
Yes, God is great. I'm
Yes,
telling
He
you.
is.
He worked it out.
Yes, He
worked
is.
it
Oh
out.
my God.
Yes. So
Oh,
I
wonderful.
am quite happy.
Yeah, you look happy.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, is there anything else you want to say about the?
Folks, if you're not busy on the 17th, please come out. And if you are busy, you can still support us. You can still purchase a ticket. You can make a donation, because proceeds that we make from these projects are used to fund our annual backpack and school supply giveaway. And like I said, last year our number was 5. We were able to supply backpacks and supplies to 5 different community-based charitable organizations. So proud of that. And not, like I said, not just me, the people that I have around me, my circle, that enable me to do that each year. So I'm very thankful for that. This year we were able to help 2 organizations, but this year I added a different element to it. I decided to support individual families
Oh, okay.
that I
Okay.
knew were in need.
We're in need, yeah.
So that was another great feeling to be able to do that. Why do I do it? Because our children are our future. That's cliche, but it's the truth.
Yes, yes.
So if we want them to succeed, then it's up to us to give them the tools to succeed.
Right.
So how do you think a child feels going to school on the first day? No pen, no pencil, no paper, no backpack, no lunch bag, nothing.
Right.
What do you think that happens to that child's mindset from day one?
Right.
They start off feeling left behind.
Yes.
And not to say that the supplies and backpacks we give them is going to ensure that they have a successful year, but it will get them off on the right foot, and it will prevent them from feeling left out and left behind.
Right.
So that's why we do it.
Right.
And I plan to continue it as long as God gives me the means to continue.
I plan on being by your side as long as I can stay healthy and, whatever.
Well, you can't get rid of me now.
I know.
I'm adopted, so
I know.
you're stuck with me.
But sis, I just want to say that I love you.
Thank you.
I'm behind you 100%, and I just know that this is going to be a great program.
And I love you too, and I thank you for being a part of it.
Yeah.
So again, folks, Saturday, December 17th, JCC Community Center, 335 Bloomfield Avenue in West Hartford. Please join us. Doors open at 5:30, and the show will start promptly at 6 o'clock. All right? Thank you so much, and I hope to see you on the 17th. If I don't, happy holidays. God bless you.
Yes, thank you. So thank you for watching, and be sure to get your tickets or buy one for somebody or whatever.
Through Eventbrite.
And please share. We share so many negative things, and I always say, please share something positive. This is positive. Thank you for watching, and have a great night.